Hello, everyone. Let's talk about thesis today. These are the objectives for today's lesson. In today's class, you will learn what is a thesis statement, and by the end of this class, you will be able to define what a thesis is and is not. You will be able to identify how to make an argument rather than a statement of opinion. You will be able to explore the path to finding a critical thesis. You will be able to introduce the essay format. You will be able to understand what is the format of a 5 paragraphs critical response essay or prompt response essay. So, what is a thesis? Guys, a thesis is not an observation. In your thesis statement, you're not going to say that Rachel is Dave's cat. For example, you can see in the picture, there's a cat named Rachel. So the first example is Rachel is Dave's cat. So when we read this statement, we realize that this is a fact or an observation. Someone has observed that Rachel is Dave's cat, or it's a fact that Rachel is Dave's cat. So this is not a thesis. This is not a thesis because it's a fact or observation. So Rachel's violence causes an irrational fear in his parents. Therefore, Dave needs to train Rachel or euthanize his cat. So this is a thesis. This is a thesis statement. So you can see that what is the difference between a fact or an observation or a good thesis statement. So here in the second example, typed in blue font, you can see it's a good example. And this can be a thesis statement because it's not a fact or an observation. Here it's clearly mentioned that racist violence causes an irrational fear in his parents. Therefore, Dave needs to train Rachel or euthanize his cat. So it's not a fact or an observation. So actually, what I want you to understand is that when you will write a thesis statement, your thesis statement is not going to be a fact. That's something that everyone know or an observation. It is not going to be a fact or an observation. The second thing is that you need to make sure your thesis statement is not too broad. Like the first example, cats are rickshaws. It's a very broad statement, which means that all cats are rickshaws. So it's not a good thesis statement. Your thesis statement should be narrow. This is an example of a narrow thesis statement. Rachel bites, hides under the bed, and then attacks people when they walk by, and hisses at people when they try to grab the television remote. Therefore, Rachel is a vicious cat and needs to be euthanized. So this is an example of a thesis statement that is not too broad. It's a narrow thesis statement. So here we understand that Rachel, which is a specific cat, hides under the bed and attacks people. So she's an angry cat. So not all cats are like that. Only we are talking about this cat, and you can see the picture. You can see the picture, the cat, the behavior of the cat. You can see that only this cat is like that. So we know that the writer is talking about this cat, about Rachel, not all cats. So what I want you to understand is that Make sure that your thesis statement is not broad like the first statement. It should be a narrow statement like the second statement, typed in blue font. And the third thing is that you need to understand that your thesis statement should not be too vague. It should be specific. It should be clear. You can see this example. Rachel can sometimes be good is a vague thesis statement. Whereas the second one, Rachel often provides comedic relief and is invaluable as a teaching tool. Therefore, Rachel is a useful cat and should not be euthanized. This is an example of a thesis statement which is specific, which is clear. Okay. So you can see that your statement, it should not be an announcement. Okay. It should not be an announcement or a breaking news like you can see the example. So what to avoid? Often when first learning how to respond to the prompts, many write I agree or I disagree with the author. This is not a thesis. Okay? You must tell me why, use the logic words. So when you will write I agree or I disagree with the author, you will use logic words like because, since, therefore, hence, so, thus to explain why you agree or why you disagree with the author. It is also not enough to say that an author generalizes or that an author is simply wrong. So you are not going to say that the author is wrong or the author is a bad person or the author is my friend or my enemy. So you are going to present your opinion. You can say that I agree or I disagree with the author, and you will use logic words and you will explain why you agree and why you disagree with the author. Now let's see. Now, this is very important. Now, first of all, let's see this cat. What do you think? Is this cat Rachel's cat? Sorry, is this Dave's cat? Or do you think that no, Rachel is an angry cat and she is a happy cat? What do you think? Just let me know. So, like we can see that some cats are angry cats and sometimes cats are happy. So, we cannot say that all cats are happy or all cats are angry. So, in your thesis statement, you cannot say things like that. Like Rachel isn't like all cats are angry or all cats are happy. So your thesis statement should be clear. It should be very clear and it should be to the point. So the opening part is called a signal phrase. So what is a signal phrase? The opening part is called a signal phrase. So when you will read a prompt, at the top of the prompt, you will find a statement. In that statement, you will find that um, there's a statement that says the following prompt titled An Educated Vote is written by Ellie published in that journal. So you will find that statement at the top of the prompt. So first of all, your job is to identify the title of the prompt and the author of the prompt, and you will find the topic or title of the prompt and the author of the prompt when you will read that statement, the first statement at the top of the prompt. So that when you will write a 5 paragraph prompt response essay, you're going to use a signal phrase. In the first paragraph, when you will write an introductory paragraph, you are going to begin with a signal phrase. And in a signal phrase, you will write, in colleges should get out of the entertainment business. Harriet Spyros argues, and then you are going to summarize his main arguments. You're going to present his main arguments. You're going to write what his main arguments are, not the whole arguments, but some arguments, main arguments only. So in this way, you're going to use a signal phrase. It's the opening part. Okay, the opening part is called the signal phrase. So you will write the topic of that article and the name of the author. There are different kinds of signal phrases. Soon we will have a whole list of them. For now, use this basic version. Now just familiarize yourself with this basic version. This is a signal phrase, and you can read a prompt, and at the top of the prompt, you will find a statement, and you will read that statement, and you will identify the name of the author and the title of the prompt, and you can begin like this. In colleges or in, and then you will mention the name of the article. Sorry, you will mention the name of the topic of the prompt, the title of the prompt. The, okay, you will mention the title of the prompt, and then you will mention the name of the author, the name of the writer. Okay. And then you will write what the writer argues. You will highlight the writer's main arguments in few sentences. So in this way, you're going to begin your essay, and you will begin it, and you will write a signal phrase at the start. Now let's see this example. This is an example. So now you can see this example. In this example, in the article, colleges should get out of the entertainment business. Harriet Spyros stresses. So this is a signal phrase. Notice the excellent signal phrase. So you're going to write a signal phrase like that. And then the writer's opinions. So he stresses that schools should be treated like a workplace instead of a place where teachers worry about fun and try and make learning for students entertaining. Now I will show you another example. Now let's see this example. What your introduction should look like. So you will write a signal phrase, and then you will highlight the author's main arguments. And then at the end of the paragraph, you're going to write a thesis statement. Okay? So in the thesis statement, you're going to write what is your opinion on the topic. These are the author's opinion, his views, his or her opinion, his or her views. Now, at the end of the paragraph, in the same paragraph, you are you're going to write your thesis statement at the end in few sentences. And in your thesis statement, you're going to discuss your opinion on the topic. You can write that you agree or disagree with the author, and you will explain why you agree or disagree with the writer. Okay? In few sentences. And then that will be enough. Okay? That is going to be your first paragraph. So in this way, we write an introductory paragraph. This, if you will follow these instructions, that means you will be able to write a good introductory paragraph, a good introductory paragraph in which you will begin with a signal phrase, and then you will summarize the author's opinions, the author's arguments in few sentences, and then your thesis statement. In your thesis statement, you will discuss your main argument. You will discuss your opinion, not your main argument. You will discuss your opinion on the topic, that you agree with the author or you disagree with the author, and why you agree or disagree with the author. So once you have your introduction written, you have the skeleton for your whole essay. So now after writing an introductory paragraph, now you have the skeleton for your whole essay. Now you will, after writing an introductory paragraph, you will write 3 body paragraphs. You will compose 3 body paragraphs. In body paragraph 1, you can present your agree point and explain how or why you agree with the author, and then provide some supporting details to prove your point of view. And then you're going to write a concluding sentence to conclude that body paragraph, a concluding remark to show that this is the end of this first body paragraph. Then in the second body paragraph, you can present your disagree point and explain how or why you disagree with the author. And then you will provide some supporting details. Explain you will explain why your opinion is a better opinion by giving some examples, by providing some examples. You can mention some facts and statistics, and you can prove your point in a logical manner by giving examples. Then in the third body paragraph, it's your resolution, why your resolution will work better than the author's call to action. In the third body paragraph, you can present your agree or disagree point, and then you can explain that why your opinion is a better opinion and why your opinion is a better opinion, and you can give some examples to prove that. So here is what the whole essay format should look like. So this is the format of a 5 paragraphs critical response essay. So you're going to write a 5 paragraphs prompt response essay. So this is the format of that essay. First, you will write an introductory paragraph, then 3 body paragraphs, and then conclusion. At the end of the paragraph, the 5th paragraph will be your conclusion. So just please have a look at this slide. You can just make notes, and in the introduction, you will begin with a signal phrase and you will follow all the instructions. You will follow my instructions. So you're going to include everything in an introductory paragraph, your signal phrase, and then you will present the writer's main arguments and then your thesis statement. And in your thesis statement, you will explain what is your opinion on the topic and why you believe that. And then 3 body paragraphs. And then in the conclusion, you're going to summarize the main points of your essay and you will highlight your argument. You will highlight your main argument in conclusion and you can suggest something and you can recommend something. You can recommend a change in conclusion. You can also make a prediction, like if this will happen, if we will do this, then this may happen. You can also predict something, suggest something, or recommend something, recommend a change.